Today I am doing a special vlog for the KIERA HUDSON series number 1 and 2. So I'm going to try and be quick because I've done a lot of takes. So I'm going to do the magic of technology and I'm just going to go do a makeover. Okay, there we go. This is not even close, is it? I can't even tell you what me and this wig have been through. But anyway, it's stiff as a board, but I tried dyeing it blue-black. Anyway, Vampire Shift. Came across this on Goodreads, saw the cover. There was 1 or 2 at the very most reviews done on it. And I contacted Tim in early July, late June last year, 2011. And was drawn to the cover. Since this cover has been designed by Carlos, many more covers have come up looking very similar. So this book cover has inspired quite a few covers. I won't name those particular books that have managed to look very similar to this. Vampire Shift, very quickly, an odd group of coppers. Jim Murphy, Acker Murphy, pipe smoking, slipper wearing. He's a dude, love him. Sean Potter, Acker Potter. He never really gets called Sean. Well, he does, but we won't go into that. Potter, he's a bit of a wisecrack. Very first book, people don't appreciate Potter as much as they will. I'll put it that way. Luke Bishop is the other hottie in this book. I knew from the start, and I said to Tim that Potter was, you know, I loved Potter. I didn't feel Luke as much as I felt Potter, even though that doesn't sound right. You will understand. But you don't really get a lot of Potter in this book. The magic starts as you read more and more and more. The very start of this book, I just knew I was going to love this. Tim likes to put music through his DVD, through his books. On the Floor by Jennifer Lopez. Put it on. Do exactly what KIERA does. In the car, you go to YouTube, put it on and start reading the scene. Trust me, it adds extra effect. Yes, these are vampires, but no, nothing close to what you're used to. No sparklies. I'm going to leave it at that because there is the beauty of finding out for yourself in these. And Tim is a he writes crazily fast, more than most. I could probably count on one hand the amount of authors that write even near as fast as Tim. So you're never left waiting. He is self-published. It's getting like it's ridiculous as far as I'm concerned, but he's not published. But that's because Tim does things his way, the Tim factor. And the Tim factor is he will swear. There is potty mouth, but it is all in context and it is funny. These books are funny. These books are British humour. But at the same token, they are, the more you read, the more you understand, the more you'll be addicted to picking them up. KIERA HUDSON, obviously, it's her series, but I really, for me personally, Potter and Murphy just kind of steal the show. This particular book is set in the Ragged Cove, and darkness is Tim's friend. It's a mood thing for his books. He writes action scenes, whether they're in the air, on the ground, whatever. You just see it all play out so well. So I'm going to quickly move on to the next one because I'll be here all day. But visually, from the very first book, I just saw these as, I started off saying quirky British movies, but I say that in a very affectionate way. I can just, it just like, because I've read all the books in this series, it just plays out from one to the next to the next to the next. Not big books, but 99 cents for a digital, but these particular paperbacks are not mine. Tim sent them to me to give away, so woohoo. And in this particular one there's going to be a signed book plate, but I have to admit I've enjoyed looking at them. But yes, rightio, next, oops, next one now, Vampire Wake. Now there's Potter, he's muscled his way in, and KIERA. Now Vampire Wake, 6 months have passed. Again, it's not a big book. 6 months have passed and KIERA is plagued by nightmares, leaving her, ready for it, bleeding from the left eye. So there is a meaning to the Vampire Shift cover. My crush for Potter just kind of explodes when you get to Vampire Hunt, which is book 3, but I'll talk about that in a minute. I'm gonna say that the terminology sweet cheeks and easy tiger are just, you know, that's Potter. That's how you know, that's Potter to me. Whenever he calls KIERA sweet cheeks or he says easy tiger, be still my heart. Potter always makes good of a use of a bad situation, especially in this book. Now we are introduced to Izzy, who I love Izzy. He's gorgeous, especially after Susie Midnight did her character picture, visual for all of us. Now, by the time I got to this book in my review, this is how I summed up the delicious recipe of action, blood. Yes, there is lots of blood. Tim, yes, he likes a good bit of gore, but I'm not a real gore person, but I just love these books. It's how everything is in context and how it's used. Witty dialogue, there will be twists, lots of them, and you won't see 3/4, 4/5 of them coming. Hot guys, oh yes. Quirky characters, dark tales, paranormal creatures, very original take on them too. With a mystery that's woven all through KIERA Hudson Series 1, and they all start with vampire, except for the novella. So that's book 2. And this one's at the Hallowed Manor, and yet again, darkness is Tim's friend. He doesn't like electricity where he goes with these characters. It's got to be the old-fashioned lanterns and stuff. And that is why I get such a kick out of these books, because Tim does it his way. Okay? Right. Okay, Vampire Hunt. Now, I'll admit this is my first favourite book out of the first 3. This is where I think you've truly got to get up to. Read Vampire Shift, Vampire Wake, Vampire Hunt to really get Potter. You're introduced. You've got Izzy and Kayla. Murphy. This book was just a roller coaster of non-stop. Just Tim is like a kid in a candy store writing this book. It just was, there was just this momentum that went on, and I kind of felt like jumping up on a car bonnet myself and yelling out, "Yeehaw!" The pages were turning. I couldn't stop reading. It's the twists, what Tim, like, you can really see he's got comfortable with his characters, and he really understands what he's going to be doing with them. It is a dark tale. I like to pride myself on really trying to theorise when I read books. And if Tim or an author can stump me, they're doing pretty good, because I sit there and I try to look at every angle and think the opposite to what they're actually writing and la la la. But Tim, I've worked out a couple of things, but mostly I don't. And anyone who has read these, because we're up to 150,000 copies of the KIERA HUDSON series 1 and 2 in total so far in a year and a bit, considering the books are coming out like every month. Or I think he wrote 11 or 13 books this year. So there you go. Potter, yes. Oh, Vampire Shift, a lot of people with reviews thought he was a bit of a jerk. I never thought that. I just could see that there was something there that was going to be emerging, and I said that from the very start to Tim. Vampire Wake, you see more, but Vampire Hunt. This is when this guy is just... he's just going... He's just like an action man going... But anyway... He is a tad cranky, I have to admit, in this book. He has his sarcastic dialogue, but as I said in my review, Potter is wonderful laugh medicine. Like, Tim can have you in all sorts of moods in this series. You can be like crying, you can be like sending him an email. Well, that might just be me, but I'm yelling at him for what he's done. Not that he cares, he just laughs at me. The Potter and Isidore banter is mostly at poor Isidore's expense, but it is hilarious. It's just, yeah, this one, buy the first 3 and finish this one. You will really get a taste of the characters, and yeah, you won't look back. Then we've got Vampire Breed. Now, I've got myself a little dedication in here, but again, this is not my book. It's a giveaway. All of them are giveaways. Alright, I was getting quite comfortable with them, looking at them. This is the book, like, I mean, I've always thought of them as visually being brilliant movies. I think my wig's moving up. Because he just takes you to different places. I won't spoil where he takes you with Vampire Hunt, because you're a bit on the move with that one, but there is, you know. But with Vampire Breed, yes, Potter, muscly, sarcastic, cranky, you name it. The books are just so entertaining, and KIERA is up to it in her eyeballs in this one. And also there is the most hilarious KIERA and Potter yelling matches, which like end up like 2 little kids. Very funny. There are cranky pants moods. There's just something special about Potter, and that's all there is to it. And everybody loves Potter, and that's all there is to it. There's no one that just does not like Potter. It's, you know, underneath he's hurting, and it's his way of, because the onion has layers, put it that way. And he truly does have it bad for KIERA, not for Kayla, she's a bit young. But then you've got the Potter and Kayla as well, and Kayla's a bit of a spitfire. She's a bit of a sookie and feeling a bit sorry for herself, and then she comes out of her shell. And then you've got Jack Sev. Yes, we get Jack Sev. Now, when I wrote my review for Vampire Breed, I was open to the fact that Jack has had it hard, and he could be, you know, he's trying. But then then you read more books. But then then Tim plays with your mind in all sorts of ways with Jack. But that comes down in the future. Now, Okay, now Wolf House is just a little teeny novella, and it is lovely to hold this. And yes, that's Potter on the front. And Tim was really, really nice because he's got a fan page on Facebook, and he's put, see, I don't know if you can, there we go. He's dedicated it to a whole pile of his fans. And that's the one thing that's lovely about Tim, he does do that. He sits there and will do dedications, he'll thank blogs and whatnot. Now, Potter is starring in his own novella. It's his POV, and the curveballs, where are we? The curveballs, and just seeing what is under those layers of Potter, how you know, he's flawed. Tim packs a lot into that amount of pages. It will feel like a full-size book. It's a very clever novella. It's a novella you should not omit because it's number 4.5, so it's between Vampire Breed and Vampire Hollows, which is the last book in the first series. Don't miss this one out because you get a lot of stuff from it. And there is a lot of intelligence to Potter. You're used to him being cranky and smart-mouthed and witty and bantering and, you know, ripping that shirt off and his wings are out and he's fighting and yeah. But there's more. You really feel this other side to Potter, and you'll also be like, wow. So that's Wolf House. Now, this was my other fave in the series. It was a 6 out of 5, so a 11 out of 10, whatever number you want to put on it, for a first series, for an ending. The wrap-up is brilliant. Oh, did he receive an email from me? Oh, I may have jumped the gun a bit. But I laughed, I cried, and you will hurt reading this one. It's one of the best endings in a series. Tim does not hold back. Like, I swear he shed all whatever you shed and just went for it. I was actually reading like this, going, no, don't you dare. And your heart is just gonna hurt, and you might yell at him. But he hit it out of the ballpark, and that's the thing with Tim. He has that freedom as a self-published just to say it how he wants to say it, but it's all in context. And yes, he does like to upset the reader. And I don't say it as in he likes to upset him. He does not conform to just doing it the way the reader would want it. Okay? That's the best I can say there. And for the latter 2/3 of his book, I virtually needed a paramedic on standby. Just wow. So that's those. Again, oh yeah, and also on my notes here it's got one of the creepiest scenes, and he will really, like, I call sucker punching when he just kind of, you really cop it. So yeah, so I will be putting up these paperbacks for giveaways. I have to work out the postage side of it, so I'll see what I can do for international, and I'll see what I can do for Australia as well. But yeah, this series is just, it's just a whole lot of fun. And it's not about the smexy and all that. Trust me, it does in future books, but this is all about the mystery and the emotions and what you get out of each book. So that's my vlog for the very first series. I'm going to do a vlog for the second. I'm going to try and tame this wig and get it to sit straight. But yes, this is meant to be my KIERA Hudson impersonation. Not. So yes, that's it. Okay, and I'm going to string them all together now and make a vlog. So yeah, this is the KIERA Hudson series number 1. Okay, this is a poem I wrote for a Once Upon a Readathon challenge last year in 2011 for Vampire Shift, because you had to read a book in this 3-day challenge, and one of the challenges was to do a poem about the book. So this is how I summed up Vampire Shift. This is a different take on vampires, original methinks, an odd assortment of coppers and their clink. A girl named KIERA with jet black hair, a lad named Luke who acts like he doesn't care. A town named the Ragged Cove where people are left with big gaping holes in their throats. A mystery to solve, KIERA is a bright one who is in the know. For KIERA has a gift, she can see through the shit. A crime scene she can sum up in minutes as long as Potter stops smoking his cigarettes. There are twists and turns, Tim O'Rourke tells a great yarn. Do not go out alone at night. I can guarantee you won't be able to fight. Who really should KIERA fear, is it? Or oh dear. So that was my little poem I wrote at the time. So that gives you a little bit more about Vampire Shift.